Yo, it's my Marcus from Destiny back with another video. Today, we're talking about some of the changes made in the new season of COD Mobile and really improvements to COD Mobile as a whole that I just kind of want to discuss while I kind of had the time today to discuss it and think about it and write some thoughts out and things of that nature.
I'm gonna run straight down middle.
And here's one thing that what really brought this up was I queued into a ranked play game and I just got a full-on bot lobby. Look at the scoreboard right there. It's a complete bot lobby. How has this happened? Like, we're 3.5 years into this game's life cycle, and it's just like we still have just stupid stuff. Like a full-on bot lobby in ranked should only be real people. Pubs should only be real people, if we're being honest. And that's something else I want to touch on in this video. Why are pubs practically irrelevant? Like, they're literally meaningless. Like, ranked is essentially pubs in this game. Like, that's kind of how it ends up playing out. Because nobody plays really pubs because there's no incentive to. Like, with the adding of the 100 levels, that kind of adds incentive to pubs. But other than that, there's like no point. There's really no point. And then the camo grind, that's why I play pubs. But a lot of people be doing the camo grind in ranked, which is just mind-blowing. I don't know why you would do that to yourself. But that's also way more time-consuming. I just think that there's so many changes that could have been made to this game to make it better, and they've just done like nothing. Like, if we're being honest, there's probably a good five main things that they could have done to really make this game a lot better off the start, and they never did. Right, making pubs relevant, that was one thing that just off rip should have been different. Buffing guns. The Chicom in 3.5 years has never been a meta gun, not even close. Whereas we've had the Krig, the CBR, and the Holger have literally been godlike since they came into the game. They've never been bad. Here we are. They've been in the game for 1.5 years plus, and all of them are still great. Maybe the Krig hasn't been in that long, but still, you get my point. There's so many guns in this game. COD Mobile has a ton of guns. Literally a ton of guns, and they added a new one every season, so there's even more guns. But like everybody's using the same 3 guns because they won't nerf them. They literally just refuse to nerf them. I'm bringing this up because the match before this, I ran into like 4 dudes with Holgers with disabled, and I would get shot and not move. Could not move. Literally couldn't move. Had like a Bizon with like all the strafing stuff on it that I normally run, and like my favorite class setup to run in COD Mobile. Wow. Couldn't move once I got shot. It was just awful. That's another thing that needs to change with ranked, right? Because you need to make ranked more like ranked, like the actual competitive scene, and then make pubs more like pubs. So how do you do that? Ranked needs to have some more restrictions, like guns that they don't use in the competitive scene, or things that they don't use in the competitive scene shouldn't be in ranked, right? Like the thermite, I don't think they use thermites in comp, so like everybody should be running frags and semtexes or things like that, or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. I remember back like when the game came out, nothing was banned, so everybody was running like trip mines with hardwired, and like it was awful, it was horrendous. That's why I didn't really care for the comp stuff in COD Mobile. I just kept watching console competitive. But there's so many things like that kind of thing that should have been fixed 3.5 years ago, and it wasn't. It should have. It wasn't. And I kind of blame, like, in part, the developers. They should have some idea of what they're doing with the game and like how they want it to play out from a competitive atmosphere, but also from like the people. Like the people who ended up playing comp, they should be the ones to kind of like run GAs and things like that. That should be on them, not necessarily the developers. You can't really expect the developers to kind of go out of their way for anything other than money, which, you know, that's really the only thing they're going to go out of their way for. So if we're being honest, I mean, you never see a draw not come out, bro. There will always be some new draws and skins in the shop for you to spend money on. Those things, without fail, will get fixed 150% of the time. Without a doubt in my mind, they will get fixed. No denying it. There's no denying it. There's ever anything involved with money in COD Mobile, it will get fixed 150%. Anyway, just kind of me venting really right there. I don't know. There's a lot of issues. Rarities in COD Mobile. I know so many people like Ferg and me and like a lot of people were really pissed off when they brought back the DLQ Red Action. Because it was like super rare. And it was like just, didn't even look good. It was just super rare. And then they brought it back. And then now everybody has it. It's not cool anymore. So like things like that just kind of ruining the value of like having been around with COD Mobile since it launched. Just things like that. I don't care for it. I think a lot of people don't care for it. It's just an awful thing to do to the community. Also, as we're going through here, just literally, I'm just looking at guns. Like, I don't remember ever being in the meta. Like, I don't ever remember the BK being the best gun in the game. Or the Pharaoh, maybe when it came out, it was pretty good. The Chicon was never nothing. The Maddox has been in for a couple seasons, and they didn't really buff it like crazy. Maybe they're waiting to put out a Mythic or something. The snipers, I feel like, I'm not a big sniper, but anybody who snipes, I feel like they're all good. Like, I mean, you can kind of use all these snipers pretty well. The DLQ, the Locust, the Rytech, the ZRG, and the HDR, I definitely think everybody can kind of use those pretty effectively. The melees, holy shiitake mushrooms. The melees gotta go, bro. That's one thing I hate about sniping is people just whip out a melee with their sniper, slide 15 feet to their right, whip the sniper back out, halfway aim down sight, and snipe you across map. It just drives me nuts. Not because I can't do it, just because it's awful. Melees in general are awful. They need to just nerf the melee run speed, period, and melees in general. I was also looking at these pistols. I didn't realize, did the game come out with 3 pistols or 2 pistols? I don't really remember. But I didn't realize that they had brought in so many pistols and like secondaries. So that was kind of cool to actually think about. I only really use the MW11 anyway. Here's a class setup I used in the video. It's kind of irrelevant, but it is the same one that I used for my beamed video with the ICR Road to Diamond. I appreciate y'all listening. Peace.